That's, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. You've been through it yourself. I know you understand.
There's something else I'd like to ask. Your pa and Stibor were really stealing from the royal mines? Jesus. I don't think even Fritz and Matthew would take that kind of chance. And there's not much that pair won't do for an easy groschen.
Yeah. In a way I can understand that Pa did it for us, but it was really irresponsible. You won't tell anyone, will you?
I won't, I promise. So what happened to the silver?
Pa handed it over, as always, to that slimy fellow, and he took it away. What happened to it then, I don't know.
Your pa really wanted to marry you off to Master Tobias?
Yes. Can you believe it?
And have you spoken to Master Fayfar since the raid?
I haven't. Either he's lost interest, or he's forgotten about me. Not that I'm complaining. Uncle Peshek would be happy to marry me off too, especially if there was something in it for him. I'm glad that's in the past.
Aye, I don't blame you. So Johanka and Matthias finally got together. Well, if it hadn't been for everything that happened afterwards, who knows? They could be headed for the altar. Probably just as well you didn't play along with Johanka's harebrained scheme and found a better solution. Matthias would have had a fit if he'd lost his favourite dice. Bianca told me something about your little expedition to the woods. She was flaunting that ring all day. I was worried for a while that she had some other suitor who gave it to her.
No, no. Unless you can count a magpie.
Going back to help the survivors. That was very brave of you. When I went back to Skalitz, I met no one but footpads and cutthroats. If you hadn't come along, I doubt I'd be here to tell the tale.
You know what our parish priest always used to say? Without Christian charity, we'd all soon be dead. I couldn't just leave you all to your fate, could I? Any good Christian would have done the same.
Well, I'm not so sure. Not everyone has your courage. Did you go back to Skalitz again? To bury your pa and your brothers?
Yes. Along with some more of our neighbours. We had an escort from the retired garrison, with Sir Hanish's kind permission.
Where are they buried?
Sammy's buried near the mines. He didn't like the mines. But his grave is on the hill, where I used to meet him for lunch. He loved it there. I know it's not consecrated ground. But what could I do?
God will understand. I buried Ma and Pa under the linden tree by our house. It's what they would have wanted.
Yes. Father and Stibor are buried in the churchyard in Rovna.
Once things settle, we'll be able to go back and pay our respects. And get the priest to bless their graves. I have no more questions. Thank you for telling me about everything, Teresa. I know it isn't easy to talk about.
It helped to talk to someone who knows what it's like. Thank you. I'm glad you came out of it in one piece.
Yeah, so am I. And I'm glad you did too.
By the way, Henry, I have something for you. The soldiers gave it to me when we brought you from Skalitz. I meant to give it to you earlier, but... you know, it belonged to one of the Skalitz garrison. They wanted me to have it for being brave, but... I hope I'll never have use for such a thing.
Oh? How come? What is it?
It's a shield with the Skalitz crest. I'd like you to have it, to protect you, and as a keepsake from home.
Sure. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks for everything.
A word.
My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa. She took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's door, while you were lying here, you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions. That quack doesn't come cheap. I paid him what I could, but I still, that is, you still owe him.
I see. Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Well, what would you need from me?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. And not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if...
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate Wojciech, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet, along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it, and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it's disrespectful to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side, to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Dig.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him. God be with you.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
What's that dog you have here? He looks familiar.
Don't you remember him? It's Mart, the butcher's dog from Skalitz.
Ah, of course. When I went back to bury my faithful dog.
When we carted you here, we took Mutt along too. He's been...
How's he doing?
a lot better now. I slipped him something good now and again when Uncle wasn't looking.
He won't starve to death then. What does the miller have to say about it?
He can't stand him.
How's that?
Every time he sees him, he starts shouting that he's a useless mouth to feed and that he'll skin.
Jesus.
And it didn't even soften his heart when Mutt brought a hare from the woods. He was happy to eat it, but it didn't change his mind.
I could have a word with him.
That would be a waste of time.
Does he obey you?
Me? Not much. He's got a mind of his own, and I'm just not strict enough.
Ah, spoilt then.
No, he just hasn't learned many commands. But he's well able to beg for...
How long has he been with you?
More or less since we came here. He runs off now and again, but he always... Sometimes I don't see him all... I think he likes to go wandering.
So he's doing quite well then?
Yeah, I'd keep him, but... He reminds me too much. I don't want to think about Skalitz, so... I thought maybe...
Me?
I'm sure the two of you would get on great. He's a handsome fella and lovable. I'd be very happy if you had...
But we never had a dog at the smithy. We never needed one.
Come on.
All right. I'll take him. He can...
Thanks, Henry. Go and get him then. He's sniffing around somewhere here.
Hey, Mutt. Remember me? From Skalitz, remember? You want to go with me? Come on then. We'll get on like a house on fire. Follow me. Good fella. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. Good boy. That's my boy.
God be with you. Try unlocking this trunk. Hold the lockpick in your right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In your left hand, you hold the blade and use it to turn the whole mechanism. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with it. You're a dab hand, Hal. Make something out of you yet. But remember, this trunk's only for practice. With real luck,
Where can I find it?
there's one right outside.
Can you tell? What about this?
God sent them to punish us for...
What do you think?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my... I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from...
Do you know anything about those?
the heathen scum that Sigismund brought here.
That's all.
Good luck to you. Hey!
To heal, mutt.
Hey! Good afternoon.
What kind of governor?
He's strict, but just. Thank God for...
What's life like?
Life is good here. By God's mercy, the war...
How do the rats...
Don't even talk to me about it. I wish that rabble was gone. I know they've met...
Have you heard?
I don't know if it's just old wives' tales. Good luck then.
Can we do something about...
Naturally.
Satisfied?
You won't convince me with that.
My last offer.
That sounds pretty interesting. A little less, and I'll be satisfied.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement. I'd like to...
And what is it?
proper bath. And my clothes need washed.
That can be arranged, but you'll pay in advance.
That's too much.
As you wish. Goodbye. something?
Hey!
Good afternoon.
What kind of
Sir Hanish is a...
What's life like?
Life is...
What's life like? How do the... Have you heard?
Don't talk to me about that fucking rabble. A soldier with... God bless.
Matičko boží, manželé k oltáři a k Bohu šťastně jdou. Provázej v žití jejich kroky a pomáhej jim mocí svou. Aby se stále rádi měli, život byl pro ně krásný jen.
Someone there.
This is a bit awkward, but recently you buried a convict, and this convict, was a family man. He left 3 young children, and I thought it might ease their hearts if I gave them the ring their father had on him in his final hour. I'm sure you wouldn't bury him with such a valuable thing.
Children, you say? You're right, I do have the ring. But actually, it's a worthless bauble. You can have it for a few groschen.
It's a deal.
Here it is.
What? This is nothing but an ordinary copper band. It's not worth a 10 penny.
Are you looking for someone?
God be with you.
I have that ring for you.
Good. Nice to know you're the sort of lad I can trust with a job like that. Now run with the ring. The word said a clever fellow like you will never want for work. At the very least, I'll buy risky goods from you.
You'll buy stolen goods from me. Thanks for your trust. I'm sure that'll come. Can you tell me something?
There's a couple of other fellows around here in my trade.
Tell me about Wojtek.
He's young and hot-blooded with a short temper. But he's a Unfortunately, he got himself into a feud with that usurer, the merchant Wolfram Pruder. A slimy bastard he is. And now they're sworn enemies.
What about this? Tell me something about you.
There's nothing much to tell. I was born at the mill, I live here, and I'll surely die.
Would you teach me something about the, milling craft? Like how to get things out of strangers' purses into your own?
Aye, why not? You're handy enough. No doubt you'll master it. Come behind the mill where we won't be seen. I'll see you later. I'll stand here and pretend I don't know you're there. You try sneaking up behind me without me seeing you, and take something from my purse. First, you have to rummage in the purse. The longer you do it, the better chance you have of finding something valuable, but also of getting caught in the act. Once you've found something you want, you've got to pull it out, carefully, but fast enough so I don't notice. Try stealing my dagger. It's there, mixed up with other things.
Could do with a bite to eat.
That's the way. I hardly noticed you were there. I think you're ready to try it out for real. Best practice on drunks and sleeping folk, so you don't end up in jail before you even get started.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome. But I'll be having that dagger back now.
That's a good... That's my boy. Here. Heel. What are you up to? How would you like to, I don't know, come for a walk?
A walk? I'd like that very much, but I can't right now, Hal. Give me...
If that's what you want.
It's not you, Hal. It's just this isn't a good time.
I'd like to know... That...
Hey, young fellow, you can't sleep here. Go and find a bed of your own. Out! Hey, get up off of that bed. You've no business. Get out or you'll be sorry. Hey, young fellow, you can't sleep here. Go and find a bed of your own. Out! Hey, get up off of that bed. You've no business here.